I just want y'all to know that everybody does not have Juneteenth off. I'm stuck in this office, in the white man's office, working for the white man, real modern day slavery. Stop inviting me places because I can't go, y'all. I have to work and I just want to know, are we getting paid double today? Not everybody, just the black people. We better be getting paid double today, and I'm not playing.
Americans to be celebrated by Black Americans. When white people ask me what they can do to embrace this holiday, I ask the same question: what about you as a white person? Or what can you embrace about this holiday as a white person? What about this holiday says to you as a white person, I should celebrate this, I should embrace this? Even as a non-American, it's a good question for a white person to ask themselves. This holiday is also a good reminder. It's a good reminder, especially for white people, that not everything is for you, and that's okay. If you want to know how to recognize the holiday and acknowledge the holiday, pay a black person. Whether it's a Venmo, a PayPal, a Cash App, whether you shop from their store, whether you invest in them through way of Patreon or something else, pay black people. You have to think, we're celebrating our Freedom Day, our emancipation from being enslaved, and we have yet to receive any type of reparations for the many, many, many centuries that we were enslaved and been considered property of people and less than human beings.
All right, guys, so I woke up this morning and I did not realize that it was Juneteenth until I started scrolling on social media and I saw a ton of the soul sisters and pro-black woke revolutionaries celebrating Juneteenth as if they've been doing it for years, okay? They have been celebrating Juneteenth for years, which I'm pretty sure a lot of them have not been, okay? And now they're celebrating it because the white man told them that it was okay to celebrate, while at the same time complaining about slavery and the white man and Jim Crow and all the bad things that the white man has done to black people, which is typically what they use this day for, okay, which I find to be fascinating because it's just funny how these people are complaining so much about the white man, but they celebrate a holiday that the white man told them that, hey, yeah, you should celebrate this as the end of slavery, even though slavery didn't really end in the United States on Juneteenth because you still had Native Americans that own slaves, right? Which is something that is not really talked about, how Native Americans own slaves, black slaves. But again, yeah, I just find it fascinating that a lot of these pro-black woke revolutionaries did not celebrate Juneteenth until the white man told them to celebrate Juneteenth, while at the same time using the day to complain about the white man and to say, well, the white man owes them something, right? This is what they typically use the day for. Not to do anything productive, like, for example, learn more about history, right? Which I think that, again, that would be an appropriate thing to do on a day like today if you actually really are celebrating Juneteenth authentically, right? Which you would take the day to learn about history. And if you actually learn about history, you will understand that Juneteenth was not the end of slavery, which would defeat the purpose of actually celebrating Juneteenth, right? So again, it's just kind of hilarious to me, okay, to study the psychology of these individuals who are so focused and obsessed with slavery and the white man doing them wrong and reparations. There's just not a lot of logic and reasoning there, right? Especially when it comes to these individuals that are asking for reparations, okay? Because they tell you that the white man is evil and he's trying to keep you down actively. But at the same time, they're saying that the white man eventually is going to give you that check and make you a millionaire overnight. It just logically makes no sense, okay? And it is the worst type of hustle, okay? The reparations hustlers are literally the worst type of people, okay? Because they're selling people who, again, are not very informed, right? A pipe dream that, again, it's just never going to happen, right? And I tell the truth about it, and I get a whole lot of backlash for it, okay? For saying, hey, you might be better off spending your time doing something else besides begging the white man for a check, especially if you think that the white man is actively holding you down and that he's evil and that he doesn't want you to get ahead, right? If you really believe that, why would you think that he give you a check? I'm just saying, I have not heard any explanation behind the logic of why would the white man give the same people that they're oppressing, that they have their boot on their neck, a reparations check. I don't understand. And the answer can't be because it's a debt owed to us. Okay. You still got to figure out who us is. Okay. And I think that's part of the reason why reparations is so impractical, because figuring out the us or the who actually was harmed and who harmed who is basically impossible. Okay. So I'm just saying that there's not a lot of logic and reasoning behind some of these complaints from these individuals. And that leads me to this video right here of this black woman who went viral on social media because she's upset that white people get the day off from work because of Juneteenth, okay? And because of that, she doesn't like it because she feels like white people are not appreciative enough of Juneteenth, okay? Enough to acknowledge the fact that, hey, I'm getting today off because of Juneteenth. And she sees that as a problem, okay? To the point where she thinks that white people should not have Juneteenth off, but at the same time, they should acknowledge Juneteenth. Take a look.
Considering you have Juneteenth off for work, if you are a non-Black person, the very least you can do is acknowledge Juneteenth. I was on a call earlier today and there were non-Black people talking about, wow, we have a random Wednesday off. What are we going to do? Tell me why. I just chimed in and I was like, oh, you could go to a Juneteenth celebration because it's Juneteenth. And while that is not a big deal, it just is so jarring because I've seen people talk about it last year and I'm starting to see them talk about it this year. But the fact that non-Black people just have the day off casually, and there's so many Black people that take this holiday serious and just want to cherish the day, but simply have to work while their non-Black counterparts have the day off and can't even simply acknowledge and say Happy Juneteenth. It's very telling.
Yeah, so this woman has an issue with white people not acknowledging Juneteenth, okay, while also getting Juneteenth off. Now, again, I have issues with this because, it seems like these people have incongruent psychology when it comes to their so-called oppressors, right? Because I want you guys to understand, these same people will talk about white supremacy, okay, and how the white man is so bad, so evil, but yet you care about the white man acknowledging a holiday that is supposed to be for Black people, right? If you truly celebrate Juneteenth for what it is, right? If you actually truly celebrate it as a real holiday, which, me personally, I'm not sure if the government should be in position to tell you what's a real holiday and what's not a real holiday. But regardless, my point is that if you actually really are celebrating Juneteenth, which again is supposed to be a holiday to celebrate the end of slavery. It's supposed to be for Black Americans, the real Independence Day for Black people, right? This is what they argue, okay, as they divide our country, okay? If you really believe that, then why do you care about if white people celebrate it or acknowledge it? You shouldn't give a damn because ultimately at the end of the day, Juneteenth is not about them and is not for them, right? This is the argument that they make. But again, this is why I say that a lot of these individuals who are obsessed with white people and their response to Juneteenth actually really are just showing that they don't really believe that Juneteenth is a real holiday and they don't really celebrate it. Because if you actually really celebrated it, then you wouldn't give a damn about white people celebrating it, right? You wouldn't give a damn about white people getting the day off. You wouldn't give a damn about what anybody does to celebrate it except what you're doing, right? Because it means something to you. But again, this is what these individuals are about, right? They're about white validation, right? They want to be validated by white people so bad, right? Again, it's just so funny how that works. You had a bunch of Black people who did not celebrate this holiday, okay? I'm telling you, I've been Black all my life. I grew up in a majority Black town, been around Black people my whole life. Nobody ever celebrated Juneteenth, okay? And I grew up in the South, okay? In the South. Not once. Anybody celebrate Juneteenth? Nobody heard of Juneteenth. And I'm not saying that no Black people celebrate it or that no Black people ever heard of it. I'm just saying that it's not one of those things that was widely celebrated. Until the federal government, aka the white man, right, the white supremacists, came along and told a bunch of Black people, hey, you need to celebrate this day as the end of slavery, right? Which, again, is just a part of the Marxist agenda to divide this country, right? This is what is really a part of it. It's the white liberal agenda. And then all of a sudden, you got all these people coming out celebrating Juneteenth as if they've been celebrating that all their lives, which is hilarious because if all these people have been celebrating Juneteenth for their whole life, like they're acting like they have, then why is it that you give a damn now that it's a federal holiday whether or not white people acknowledge it? Because I'm pretty sure white people haven't been acknowledging it for the longest time now until it became a federal holiday. Again, that's how you know that so many of these people, when they come out here and they try to virtue signal about Juneteenth, talking about how, oh, I don't like the fact that white people aren't acknowledging Juneteenth or have a problem with Juneteenth. And it's like, okay, well, again, if you truly celebrate the holiday, then why do you care about what other people think, right? If it's not for them, of course they're not going to want to celebrate something or acknowledge something that explicitly is not for them. Again, it just doesn't make sense at all. It also doesn't make sense to expect them to acknowledge the holiday, but at the same time saying that, hey, well, they shouldn't get the day off, right? Only black people should get the day off, right? I'm just saying, you know, when you have holidays that are actual, like, real holidays, there are customs and traditions behind what people do on those holidays. Like, for example, Independence Day, 4th of July. What do people celebrate? They're celebrating the independence of the United States of America from Great Britain, right? You light fireworks, okay? You talk about history. You spend time with your family. You eat a certain type of food, right? There's an actual way of celebrating, okay? When we celebrate Veterans Day or Memorial Day or Christmas or Thanksgiving, like, there are actual customs and traditions that go along with celebrating these holidays, okay? That's what makes the holidays meaningful, right? But on Juneteenth, what are the customs and traditions that people do on Juneteenth? I don't know. I can't tell you, okay? What is it? Do we eat fried chicken, right? Do we eat watermelon? I don't know, right? I have no clue. Which, again, this is why I try to say that, again, a lot of this stuff is not authentic, right? It's not authentic. And one of the number one ways that you know is not authentic is because, again, there's a lack of real culture or norms or customs behind what happens on that day. Because I guarantee you, this woman is probably not spending the day doing anything productive or actually really celebrating Juneteenth the way I would celebrate Juneteenth if I was one of these woke revolutionaries, which is to learn more about black history. I guarantee you they're not doing that. They're spending it doing something else, right? They're just, oh, I got a day off. Probably doing something unproductive, not, again, engaging in any type of cultural or traditional activities that people do on actual holidays. So again, I find this to be extremely fascinating, right? Just all of this Juneteenth stuff, especially, again, these individuals seeking white validation of Juneteenth, right? As if, you know, it being a federal holiday was not enough. No, you must also acknowledge that today is Juneteenth. Okay, this is the day that white men stop whipping up on our black ancestors, right? This is essentially what they're demanding, okay? But yet you went out of your way to, again, have this whole holiday that is supposed to be for black people, because the white man's Independence Day is not the Independence Day for black people, according to these people, but yet you want the white man to acknowledge and to care about your Independence Day while at the same time telling the white man that, hey, it's not about you, it's about us. Fascinating stuff. I really don't understand the psychology of these individuals or the logic of these individuals. It really should be studied. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.